decided to have a space where people could go if they were feeling a bit anxious and nervous in the museum. So we looked around and we came up to the school and we asked James to show us what was it like here if somebody was getting a bit nervous or a bit anxious. And he said, yeah, we've got a few rooms, we call them sensory rooms, and we said, well, we're going to call ours a chill out room. So then if somebody's on the gallery and maybe it get noisy or a bit overwhelming, or maybe they just want a 5 minutes quiet time, they can go into the room and just relax and chill out a bit. Right, that was a bit of a problem really, because we were going to put the room down the other end of the museum, and James came down and we showed him where the room was, and he said, actually it's very noisy where we were going to put it. He said, is there another room that you could use? Well, we did have another room, the one that we're using at the moment, but it was behind a door which leads to the staff areas. So what we had to do, we had to change the doorway round so people could just walk in rather than have to call somebody. So now the room is freely available. If somebody just wants to get in there, they can just push the door and walk in, whereas before they would have had to call a member of staff to open the door for them with a little key. So it worked out really well in the end, and we've got a great technician down there called Jules who's actually moved the door and put a new door in, and everybody's happy now, so it's really working well. Well, I've got a 17-year-old boy who comes to me on a Friday, and he's got autism, and he helps me on a Friday, and we were talking to him about various things, and then we all had an autism awareness training day, and the lady there told us about having rooms like this in buildings is very important. Because it just makes the building more accessible. So if somebody comes down who actually might need to use the space, it's great that we've actually got this space, and it's on the ground floor, it's easy to get into, and we just think it's really important that we have a room like this. That's a great question. The room has been really successful already. We haven't opened it long, and even before it was finished, people were actually using it. And we had one little boy who came in, he was only about 5, and he fell, he slipped and he cut his head. Oh, and he was crying and he was really upset. They sent for an ambulance, and they were going to have to take him to the hospital. And then one of our workers there, Steve, said, why don't we take him down to the chill out room, see if that helps him. So we took him down there, and within 2 minutes he started playing with the instruments, and he started looking at the lights, and he almost forgot about his cut. And by the time the ambulance got there, he was really calmed, and they looked at him and said he doesn't need to go to hospital, we just put a plaster on it. But he was really upset, so that's really worked well. And even, at one weekend, I was down there last weekend, and 4 or 5 families went in there and came out and said how wonderful it was and how much they were enjoying it and how it made a difference to their visit. So yeah, it's been really successful. We've got it quite like the way we want it at the moment. We've got nice cushions in there, we've got nice lights in there, but we're always looking for ways to improve it. And that's why when you guys came down on Tuesday, I said, can you think of any way that we could improve it? And we always, want to do things that everybody can suggest. So if anybody can suggest anything to improve it, then we'd love that. We've been up and looked at what you guys have got, so I think we're more or less there. But maybe the colours might need changing or something like that. People might not like the bright colours. So we're always open to any suggestions, really, how we could improve it. I can. So when we came here, we noticed you had a bubble lamp, and you had coloured lights like Christmas lights and things like that. So that's what we got basically. We copied you. So we got a big bubble lamp, we got lovely coloured cushions, we got a rubber floor with all colours on it, and then I got a thing on Amazon which projects onto the ceiling, and it's so lovely. This projects all like different shapes and things onto the ceiling, and I actually bought one for the house then after we had one of these. It's so nice just to relax with it. And we've got a strip light with like they have in dressing rooms and things. So that looks nice from the window. And basically we've just copied you guys and put all the things like that in it. Oh no, it took us a while to do it actually. I think probably about 7 months, but from the time that we sort of thought about doing it. What happened after we had the autism training, we set up a group, 4 of us, and we also had an autism champion in the museum. Suzanne is our autism champion. So we talked about what we could do, and this was one of the things that we could do. Didn't have a lot of money to do it, but we did have a room which we could do, and we've got men down there who actually could do most of the work. So we had somebody to paint it, and Jules, our technician, he took the sink out. There was a sink in there was all sorts of things. So we stripped the room back. We started ordering things like the flooring and the cushions, and we were waiting, and it seemed to take forever, and I kept going down and looking at it, thinking, there's not much happening, but really people were working there all the time. So after about 4 months it was more or less ready to use, although we couldn't open it because of the problem with the door, and we had to order a new door, and that took forever to come. I don't know what happened to that, but anyway, that came, and then Jules did that. So it took about 7 months to actually, from thinking about it, to actually getting it usable and ready to go.